Again, there we go. We are here, and you thought that you lost me. Thank you, Spencer, very much. We've got somebody pinch hitting for Frank back there, and also, I miss you, Kristin. Where are you? Anyways, Kristin Hartnett could not be with us this evening. She is around. I don't mean not being with us in that way, but anyways, Kristin, you are sorely missed this evening. I always have that one person that I can just, edge on and say, hey, come up with another question. But I'm here tonight, Susette Tibus, hosting Mystic Matters for the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. And one of the reasons why I said I've got to do this show is because I'm welcoming back friends. Friends that haven't been on Mystic Matters for a very long time. And Bill and Kay Pere, welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome. And it was really neat. I ran into Bill and we sort of had this conversation. Where have you been all my life? And he says, you know what, it's time to get back on Mystic Matters. And we've got a great story for you this evening, some video and some pictures and that we'd like to show you this evening. But I want to kind of set it up a little bit and go to Bill and Kay and say, lunch? What does that mean? And what does that stand for, Bill?
L.U.N.C.H is Local United Network to Combat Hunger. And we use the power of popular music to produce positive social action. We're a nonprofit organization dedicated to addressing issues of hunger and poverty through music and the arts.
It's fantastic. But, I was just reading a little bit, and I had to catch up a little bit before the show. Kay, over $1 million raised since the founder and executive director thought of this idea. How many years ago?
I first came up with the idea in 1989. It was coming up on the 10th anniversary of the death of singer-songwriter Harry Chapin.
That I knew. See, yes. I knew that. Going back with Bill so many years, I did know that.
Right,
yes.
And so I wanted to do like a tribute concert. So I worked with L.U.N.C.H High School.
Yes. And
we put on this big event. It was supposed to be a one-time event. We raised like $23,000.
Unbelievable.
And then when it was all done, people were saying, well, when are you going to do it again? So here we are 28 years later.
Wow.
And $1.1 million later.
I've known and was very entrenched, years ago with the Chamber of Commerce, and the Peres were also very entrenched way back then. But could you believe that $1.1 million, Kay, later, that this would be such a big program and such a big outreach?
Well, anything of that scale happens a little bit at a time, and it's because of all the kids that we've had involved. The money that we've raised has come through ticket sales, our recordings, sold both, it started out with cassette tapes and LPs and CDs, and now it's all digital.
Yeah, worldwide distribution.
Right. Yes.
But mostly through individual donations.
Individual donations.
Support of the communities.
Okay. And when you say communities, Kay, what are you talking about? New London County or?
Well, we primarily, many of our concerts have been in southeastern Connecticut, but we've performed really across the country. We've done performances in Hollywood and Nashville, Dallas, in New York. In fact, remember when L.U.N.C.H performed in New York City?
Yes. At the Hard Rock Cafe.
Actually, why do I remember that? Was that advertised?
Probably.
It was in the Mystic River Press.
Yes.
Yes. See, I follow right. What an experience!
It was. There was a special. The Chapin family was there.
That's correct.
Right, and we got an award from World Hunger Year.
What year was that? I can't remember. I remember the article.
2005.
Yeah. What an honor.
We've also performed at the Schubert Theater in New Haven twice, and that was a fundraiser for one of the one of the social service organizations in New Haven. And so we've done school shows, we performed at libraries, churches, as well as some very nice theaters and listening rooms.
Yeah, wherever there's a need, we'll go.
Wherever there's a need, we'll go.
I know. Look at the wonderful logo that we have on the screen for us. And so we have a short clip. All right, a short little video that I think Spencer's going to to reel out there for us. It's just a couple of minutes, and it's going to show you exactly what these wonderful people do and their programs, and mainly what you're going to see
Well, what's
are the
important
kids.
for people to know is that our performance is, our ensemble is made up of kids.
Kids. That's exactly
and,
right.
You know, ages from 4th grade on up, and you know, we give these kids opportunities to make a difference in the lives of others through volunteering their time and talent.
It also makes a difference not only to the community, but it makes a difference within themselves.
Right, and we've
Yeah,
had
I
over
mean-
3,000 kids in our program over the years.
It's fantastic.
So there's a little clip of one of our performances.
And we're going to show that right in a couple seconds here.
No, I'll never ever get this close again. Everybody wants to feel that feeling sometime. That's why I don't want today to come to an end. Everybody say please. Everybody say please. Everybody say please. Everybody say please. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Everybody wants to reach his dream just one time. No, we'll never ever get this close again. Your heart, soul, and mind. Everybody wants to feel that feeling sometime. That's why I don't want today to come to an end. Everybody say please. Everybody say please. Everybody say please. Your neighbor says you love yourself.
Smile. How does that not make you smile? So the tagline I see on some of the shirts are voices.
Voices for,
For
Hope.
Hope.
That's another one of our programs. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay. So we've got a couple of clips as well that we want to show to set us up.
Well, one of the big thing that we have coming up is our holiday show.
Yes.
This will be our 21st annual holiday show. And this is something that we do every year. It involves lots of folks from the community. And we start now, we're actually call for auditions. If any young people, young or old, are interested in being a part of this annual production, just, get in touch with us, and we'd love to have you. It's a parody, of pop culture. We've done Gilligan's Island, X-Files, superheroes.
Look at this right here.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have. Go ahead.
Bill
Kate.
usually puts a couple of things from pop culture together
Right.
in an unusual way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of surprise,
A lot of mashups. Yeah.
a lot of mashups.
That was Game of Clones that we did there.
Who comes up with these ideas?
Oh,
That's Bill. That's Bill.
I'm looking at everybody on the screen. I just can't, the imagination, the creativity that comes out of this group. Bill, how do you, I don't sleep at night because I've got this little pad next door and say, oh, this is what I have to do. You must.
That's about the same thing. Yeah.
It's very creative people. So this upcoming show,
So this
when
one is
is
going
it?
to be, well, the reality show Survivor.
Yes.
Well, this is Survivor North Pole. And the Survivor, their slogan is outwit, outlast, outplay. Well, ours is
Okay.
outwit, outlast, outslay. So Santa and his elves are going to be on Survivor.
Okay, so where does this take place at? I mean,
This will
we've
be
got,
at Union Baptist Church in
Okay.
Mystic.
Yeah,
It's, we do it, it's either there or at the community center. Community center is doing renovations now.
Right,
So
yeah, the Y,
We're going to be
yeah.
at Union Baptist Church, which has hosted us for many, many years.
been very good.
And
yeah.
it's a great
on,
venue.
on December 2nd.
December 2nd
December
at
2nd.
7 p.m. And
One showing?
it's
Okay.
one show.
One
We do
show.
one show, and anyone who
we
wants
do
to.
have a dress rehearsal on Friday night that we often open up to community groups.
Yes, senior
as
centers
well.
and Boy Scouts. And
Oh,
such.
so they can come and it's basically free that
Yes,
night, so
correct.
that they basically see the performance.
Right.
And then
Or-
next night, it's there is a charge. So let me ask you, getting back to the voices of these and auditioning. So it's open to anybody that wants to
Right.
come. And
No audition,
how does that happen?
No audition required to be part of the show. What we do is we do auditions to see who fits what part the best. And then I
Yes.
write the show to fit the people that we have. So that there's something for everybody to do that fits what they can do.
That's beautiful.
So
Usually,
everybody gets to participate.
everybody gets exactly. Everybody gets to have a part. And are they necessarily a trained voice?
No,
Okay, it
Not
just can be-
necessarily.
not at
no.
all. We make it fit what people can do.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's special
Yeah,
about this.
the only thing that matters is that you have a desire in your heart to want to help and reach out and help people.
So we talked a little bit about the program. Let's talk a little bit about how this makes people feel. What comes out of these young kids? Tell me a little story about how this has impacted some of the children that you've helped out.
We get, we've had kids who, they join our program when they're in 4th and 5th grade, and they stay with it all the way through high school, then they graduate tearfully.
Yeah.
And then they go on to college, and then some of them come back and still participate. We have somebody who's almost 40 years old who still every year comes back and does a part in that holiday show.
Really? It started when they were very young?
They were in the very first show we ever did in
Okay.
Fitch. We have kids whose children are in the show. We have 3 generations of families that do things with us. And we get letters from a lot of our kids who have gone on, in their lives. Some of them are living in different parts of the country or overseas. And we often get letters, just little comments now and then, letting us know that we've had an impact on them and, they remember the things we've taught them. And it makes it all worthwhile. It really does.
I talk about as your community leaders, and really the both of you are in a sense. And I always say when you step out of your house, you automatically become a mentor. And people would say, what do you mean? I said, it's the way you live your life. It's how you are in the grocery store. Young kids that are looking at you, wherever you are, and whether you're doing a program or if you have the opportunity to speak, without silently saying anything, people are looking at you every day. So it's the way that you're perceived in the community. And this is just a wonderful way that the two of you, the perception in the community, and I'm so glad that you're back on the show. So let's talk about open mic.
Right, there's a concert series that's going to be starting September 26th.
Okay,
is
that's
the
right around the
first-
corner.
First
Okay.
concert, that's a Tuesday night. The curtain, there is no curtain.
No
But the
curtain.
curtain goes up, goes up at 7 o'clock.
Automatically goes up because there's not a curtain.
Right.
So our featured performer is one of Connecticut's state troubadours emeritus, Thomasina Levy, and she's a world-class dulcimer artist and sings, a folk performer, a very nice person. We know her
Very well, yeah.
through our music circles. So she's a featured performer, but there are also spaces for songwriters to come and sing their own material. This is a songwriter concert series and open mic. So if someone is interested, they can get in touch with us through the contact information that you're providing.
Right there. Yeah, it'll come up on the screen
and
again.
let us know what they might like to do during the open mic portion, and we'll provide them with more information. There's also going to be refreshments, time to get to know other people in the community.
And where's this held at?
This will be at the Groton Congregational Church. That's on Monument Street in Groton.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that we like to do is encourage other artists to have a place to be able to present their work. So we'll be launching this series, which will be on a Tuesday night monthly, and the proceeds will be benefiting local meal programs.
Okay.
And the L.U.N.C.H itself has a very nice meal program that they've started.
So, okay, is this a new program?
It
new
is.
series?
It's brand new. We're just kicking this off this month.
Okay, and so you're part of the creative too, right? Thinking about all
Oh,
the different ways
right,
to focus on the programs.
Right. I'm also a performing singer-songwriter.
Of course, you're the performing singer-songwriter. I mean, I knew that.
And
And still teaching piano lessons. I just have to tell everybody.
and
too.
voice
and
as
voice,
well.
yeah.
And so one of the other things that we do, one of the other hats that we wear, is the Connecticut Songwriters Association. So this is a partnership between the Groton Congregational Church, L.U.N.C.H, and the Connecticut Songwriters Association to encourage the creative process through song, not just in our region, but to connect with others who are expressing and telling stories and motivating people to create change in their world.
Right, and we like to, when we teach our workshops out in, whether it's in LA or Nashville and such, we always meet lots and lots of very talented young artists, and we try to show them
And
that,
older artists, too.
and we try to show them that, you know,
At this age, we try to get that
of course, that music has such a potential to make a difference that you know, if they should always think about making it about more than just themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's bigger than themselves.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we've all learned that as we cross I shouldn't say cross paths or continue on our journeys. Bill, I know that this, and I've known you a long time. I know that this has been your dream. How do you see it in the next? I mean, it's been 20 some odd years, but how do you see it in the next 10 years? L.U.N.C.H. Where L.U.N.C.H is, where some of these special programs, where some of these partnerships. I mean, it continues to, you continue to define yourself, you continue to grow. Is there a capping point, or is it just music in general really makes the statement?
Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, music itself is timeless.
Yes.
That there will always be music and drama and the arts. But over the 28 years that we've been doing this, we've seen many, many changes, both in kids change, technology changes, the culture changes, the community changes. So we have to adapt and evolve, always using music and the arts as a core.
And putting that forward.
Yes.
Yes. So is there, when we talk a little bit about funding, just a little bit, I mean, this really comes from the community. Is there any state or federal funding that you've been able to tap into? Is that not part of the program?
To a small extent. I mean, for all that we do, we're an all-volunteer organization,
Yes.
so we're relatively small. So we do get some grants. We get some grants from the State Commission on the Arts to
Sure.
help us with some of the things that we do, and a lot of local grants from
Of course.
agencies.
Yeah.
But primarily, it's all grassroots. It's a lot of grassroots.
That's just amazing.
And touching on the topic of things potentially changing over the next 10 to 15 years, one of the reasons that we do what we do is that finding a way to make a difference with your life and being able to be creative and making music are lifelong activities. So we intend to keep doing what we're doing,
Right.
Forever.
Yeah. Well, it's very interesting, and I've known the Perrys a long time, and I reflect back in my own personal life when people say, well, how long can you keep doing this? And I don't really understand what doing this means when you wear, and these two understand so many different hats. I personally think when you are involved with giving back, it's not a timeline and it's not a bucket list. I've never really liked bucket lists because I always think that's the end of time. So when you give back to a community, you work with mainly kids as well, and you're sort of, in a way, living your dream. There is no time and there's no end. So as long as that, I always tell the staff members, the money will come. Just do the right thing every day, and always put what you think is the best. Always give back to the community, to your family, your friends, and mainly the children. I mean, we are here to be focusing on mentoring the children in whichever way that we can. So I think that's very important. So I'm glad you guys are continuing, because maybe 10 years from now we'll still be doing this Mystic Matters show too and having you on. So Voices for Hope.
Voices for Hope is another one of our programs that started, I think, in 03 or 04. Kay, you want to tell a little bit about what Voices for Hope is?
Voices for Hope.
Voices for Hope. So each year we select a song, usually an original song that Bill or I or
Colleagues.
some colleague has written, and it has to be a
I
song
love this picture, by the
that's-
way. I'm sorry, Kay, I just love
Yep.
this picture.
We're very
Because-
colorful,
yeah,
aren't we?
yeah.
That's one of our Voices for Hope
I love this
get-togethers.
picture,
Right.
absolutely.
So, so it's always a song that has a positive message about making a difference for good in the world, and we hold an event. What's the date of this year's?
April
April.
21st.
Okay,
April
so we're already
21st.
into, so we're already
For
in
next year's.
2018.
We plan 2 years
good
ahead.
planning
Okay,
ahead.
okay.
So, and we usually have 15, 20 contestants that we select from the applicants.
Another
And our-
auditioning process?
It's-
Well, they send a recording
Oh,
or
okay.
a video of themselves. They can
And it's a
email
vocal
it
competition with a scholarship prize.
with a scholarship prize.
I understand, yep.
But the scholarship, there's one scholarship, but we make sure that it's a good day for everybody. Everybody gets to participate in, they learn songs ahead of time that they come, and they'll sing with the L.U.N.C.H ensemble. We put on a concert to raise money for a local social services agency. And again, one of the missions of L.U.N.C.H is to show people of any age, that they can make a difference in
Through
the
the
world
music.
through their talents.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's not about winning, it's about participating
right.
and being
You
part
know.
of something bigger.
Right, and everybody basically treated the same.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's the, I mean, that's the kind of the goal. So this,
Right.
this came out of, whose idea was this?
This came from a friend of mine who contacted me and said, he had this idea. He wanted to. He was connected with Brooklyn, the musical,
Yes.
stage play.
Yes.
At the Bush, it was coming in at the Bushnell. So he thought it might be a good idea to put together something like this and be able to give the winners walk-on parts in the production at the Bushnell. So that's what we did that first year, and we had some of our people be able to go and be part of that production. And then we've kept on doing this through the years. And
So how long has Voices for Hope been since 2003?
10, 12 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So this all seems like it's, I mean, it started with L.U.N.C.H, and then it just all seems to evolve around L.U.N.C.H.
Yeah, these are all different programs under our
On the
umbrella.
L.U.N.C.H umbrella.
Yes.
Wow. We do have just a few minutes. I do want to just step back a little bit and say, Bill, what is your background a little bit in the arts?
Well, okay, I have a graduate degree in molecular biology, which has nothing to do with the arts.
That's all right. I went to nursing school, so don't worry about that.
But it is I find that to be very helpful in songwriting.
Yeah.
Just, very disciplined approach to songwriting. But for me, the arts is something that I was born singing and making up songs. And,
Yeah.
I picked up a guitar when I was 10. I quit, picked it up again at 13 because then I had discovered girls.
Oh, absolutely.
And I made
Guitar,
myself learn to
girls.
play.
Yeah, when you play that guitar, the girls come.
Right. Back then, we
Right.
charged a nickel for our first concert.
Yes, of course.
Of
yeah.
course. And I've just been doing it ever since.
Wow, wow. And Kay, I know you.
I have a degree in vocal music education. I trained to be a music teacher in schools, and I decided that I liked working one-on-one and in small groups with people better. I also have 2 years toward an electrical engineering degree, so I've got...
Talk about living the dream and not doing
so I've
anything
got
that we went to school for,
that
right?
analytical side, so we can
Yeah.
talk science as
Yeah.
well as music.
Yeah, okay.
Two of us.
Well, but before the show ends, and we only have a few minutes, I just want to get out, Bill, just to name and where these things are located and the times. That's very important. So we've got a couple events.
Right. So the one that's just coming up is this open mic
Right.
debut, which is on September 26th.
That's just right around the corner.
Groton Congregational Church on 162 Monument Street in Groton.
What time?
7 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Then we've got the holiday show.
We just want to reach out just a little bit to Pastor Sean Fisher.
Yes.
And
At that
the
church,
church,
who's
yes.
been very, very coming and very
thank
community
you,
oriented.
Pastor Fisher. Thank you.
And then at December 2nd is our holiday show at Union Baptist Church, and they've just got a new pastor too, Lonnie Brown.
Yes, I heard that. Yes, very
Yeah,
nice.
he's been great there, and so that's going to be December 2nd at Union Baptist.
And this goes on every year.
This is
show.
every year,
Yeah.
yes. So we're just going to be starting rehearsals for that now. So again, if anybody wants to be involved, contact us.
Right. We've got the information.
Right. And then coming up in the spring, we've got a show that we do up in Middletown in March, and then we have our Voices for Hope here in Mystic in April, on April 21st.
Okay. So I think we've all wrapped it up. Anything else? We've just got a few minutes that we can get out there. Well, I'm going to say something. I want to thank the Perrys very much for being really a big part of our local community, and all the people that you have touched and all the children that you have touched. Thank you so much, because I know
Thank you, Susette.
one of the things in their dreams was to, now that they're going on in their lives, is that they've been able to have said they've participated in the lunch program. So it's lunch, it's the Perrys. Get on their website. They've got a lot going on. And please, Bill and Kay, come back and see us again.
Anytime.
Okay. I'm Susette Tibus. I miss you, Kristin. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Mystic Matters. Good evening.